The bicycle had been sitting in the garage for 3 weeks, pink with white streamers on the handlebars, a birthday gift Emma had begged for and then quietly avoided every single day since it arrived. "I don't want to fall," she said, arms crossed exactly the way her father crossed his when he'd made up his mind about something. "Everybody falls," Lucas said, wheeling the bike out onto the driveway. "That's not the scary part." "Then what's the scary part?" "Getting back up looking stupid in front of people." Emma considered this with the seriousness of someone weighing a major life decision. "Nobody's watching. Victor's watching from the window right now." She spun around. Sure enough, a curtain in the front hall shifted back into place a half-second too late. "He's not even subtle," Lucas muttered, shaking his head. It was a Saturday, one of the rare ones where their father had no calls before noon and their mother had taken the morning to herself with a book she hadn't opened once in a year. The driveway stretched long and flat under early sun, bordered by the same junipers that stood guard every night, looking considerably less threatening in daylight. "Okay," Lucas said, steadying the bike. "Get on." Emma climbed on with the enthusiasm of someone approaching a dentist's chair. Her knuckles went white on the handlebars. "You're gripping it like it's going to bite you." "It might." "It's a bicycle, Emma." "You don't know that for sure." Lucas laughed despite himself, the kind of easy laugh that had gotten rarer since the night with the notebook, since he'd started noticing things he used to walk right past. He held the seat steady with one hand, the back of the frame with the other. "I've got you. Just pedal. Don't let go." "I won't let go." She pushed off, wobbly, the front wheel swerving left, then overcorrecting right, Lucas jogging alongside with both hands firm on the seat, his sneakers slapping against the pavement. "You're doing it. Don't let go." "I'm not letting go." He was, in fact, already easing his grip, the way he'd watched a video explain the night before, a technique he'd studied with the same intensity he now studied everything, ever. Since he'd started paying closer attention to how things actually worked instead of just how they looked. Emma pedaled another 10 feet, the bike straightening out beneath her, finding its own balance the way bikes eventually do. "Lucas, don't let go, I mean it, I already let go." Silence. Then a shriek, not of fear but of something between panic and pure delight, as Emma realized she was pedaling in a straight line entirely on her own, streamers fluttering, the bike humming smooth against the driveway. "I'm doing it." "You're doing it." She rode nearly to the end of the driveway before the wobble came back, overcorrected, and sent her tipping sideways into the grass border with a soft thud and a burst of laughter that had nothing to do with pain. Lucas ran up, half out of breath. "You okay?" Emma lay in the grass, bike on top of her legs, grinning at the sky. "I did it though." "Right?" "I did it." "You did it." She sat up, grass in her hair, knee scraped pink but not bleeding. "Can we do it again?" "That's usually how it works, yeah." They spent the next hour like that, Emma pedaling, wobbling, falling, laughing, getting back up without being asked to, Lucas jogging alongside less and less each time until eventually he was just standing at the end of the driveway, arms crossed, watching his sister make wide loops around the mailbox on her own. At some point, without either of them noticing, their father had come to stand in the doorway, coffee in hand, watching in the particular stillness Sophia always said meant he was memorizing something on purpose. "How long's he been there?" Emma asked, coasting to a stop beside her brother. "No idea." Don Romano stepped out onto the porch, and for once, there was no phone in his other hand. "Not bad," he said. "I fell 4 times, Emma announced proudly, as if this were the achievement rather than the riding. Falling 4 times and getting up 5 is the whole point. Emma looked at her brother, then back at her father, something calculating crossing her small face. "Lucas taught me." He didn't even yell once. "High bar," Lucas said dryly. Don Romano almost smiled, the small private version he rarely let anyone outside. "The family see." He came down the porch steps, crouched slightly to look at the bike, at the scraped paint on one pedal from an earlier fall. "You held the seat the whole time." "Until I didn't," Lucas said. "She didn't need me holding on anymore." She just needed to think I still was. Something passed over their father's face at that, quick and unreadable, gone before Emma noticed it, though Lucas caught it, the way he'd been catching more things lately. It looked, for half a second, like the specific ache of a man realizing his son had just described, without meaning to, exactly what growing up in this family required. "Watch," Emma said, and pushed off again, pedaling a wobbly but determined loop around the driveway, tongue between her teeth in concentration, streamers catching the light. Lucas stood beside his father, both of them watching her circle the mailbox for the 6th time. "She's going to want to ride to school next," Lucas said. "She's not riding to school." "I figured you'd say that." "Good. Means you're paying attention." Don Romano glanced sideways at his son, something almost warm in it. "You did well today." Lucas shrugged, though he stood a little straighter. "It's just a bike." "It's never just a bike in this family." From across the driveway, Emma called out, breathless and triumphant, "I want to ride to the end of the street." "Not today," both her father and brother said at the exact same time, and Emma groaned loud enough for Maria to hear it from the kitchen window, where she stood smiling, drying a plate she'd already dried twice, watching a rare, ordinary Saturday unfold in a house that so rarely got to have one.